Namo MyoHoRenGeKyo. Hi. Thank you for being here. Thank you for your practice of Nichiren's doctrine, our mentor, of Shakyamuni Buddha, Shakyamuni's teaching of the ultimate method of self-enlightenment, MyoHoRenGeKyo, the Lotus Sutra. Now, we live in a modern world, so I have no illusions that any of you have only heard about Buddhism through this resource, meaning this video channel, the podcast channel, the threefoldlotus.com website, or the bookstore, right? We've all heard about Buddhism throughout our lives from various sources. A TV program, a history channel, Google, YouTube, Instagram, TikTok even, yeah? And some of us have come through studying Buddhism with various organizations, whether it be academic at school, right? Religious studies programs, those kind of things. Or the much publicized from time to time Tibetan crisis, or maybe you know about Bhutan, an amazing place, really. Or you've been through separate organizations, and boy, aren't organizations fun. I single them out because through all these other programs, you simply get exposed to various forms of information, most often incorrect, or at very least oversimplified or neglecting of several key components. But organizations, boy, they want you to be organization people. And so they push their agendas into us, yeah? So, one of the glaring, and you learn this pretty quickly when you study Buddhism, or you don't. One of the glaring misconceptions and constantly repeating just ignorance about Buddhism. Get out of here, Nat. Go over there. Is the idea that Buddha is a person, which is, it's a natural mistake to make. Not really natural, but it's an obvious mistake to make because of thousands of years of religious practice in the world, from every kind of religion. I'm not singling any out, but without fail, religions always are based on an icon, a personality. It's no wonder that politics today are the politics of identification, of identity. Right? It's so samsaric. So that's why I said natural to begin with. It's natural in the sense that it's pretty much how we're designed, and religions are all based on personifications, right? Emulation of personifications. But it's all storytelling, and it's all the negation of the power of our own minds. Fundamentally, religions want to break you away from the incredible power of the sentient mind and just glue you to this bodily, physical world, even though they talk very mystically and magically about other. The other they talk about is a complete delusion based on this physical world. In fact, you can't even get to your ultimate self until after you leave this physical world. How mental is that? We might as well all go live on the North Pole and wait for Santa to save us. It's just so ridiculous. And the reason I say all of that is not to once again instantiate my polemic on religion. But I say it so that there's a sharp contrast in your mind between all of that and what Shakyamuni taught. Shakyamuni's teachings were the antidote, the antithesis of that kind of thinking. That's how he redefined terms like karma. Not mystical, just energy with action. The actions you take manifest energies in a particular way. You are in control. Period. That also means that everything that occurs that you experience in your life, you experience through your mind, is a result of previous, you set it up. So not too much room for complaint in that, is there? That's kind of a strict teaching. So what is Buddha, if not the person? So I want you to listen to the next two sentences Nichiren writes in this letter, this Gosho, on the true aspect of all phenomena, right? That's the title of this new Gosho that we're reading, the true aspect of all phenomena, in this book I've collected of Goshos about karma. So here we go. Listen carefully. Okay? Therefore, the two Buddhas, Shakyamuni and many treasures, are Buddhas who are functions of MyoHoRenGeKyo. Did you hear that? Shakyamuni, a living man, and many treasures, not a living man, a personification, both Buddhas, are Buddhas by virtue of, right, who are functions of MyoHoRenGeKyo. And if that wasn't clear enough, the next sentence says, it is MyoHoRenGeKyo that is the true Buddha. So let's take a moment, as I have been doing during these last couple of books, certainly this one, to understand the terminologies, the words of Buddhist teaching. MyoHoRenGeKyo, Buddha. MyoHoRenGeKyo, Gohonzon. MyoHoRenGeKyo, Buddha-ness, the law of instantiation of Buddha. Gohonzon, that mental apparatus by which we MyoHoRenGeKyo Buddha. Is this becoming obvious now? So what is karma? Well, karma is MyoHoRenGeKyo. What is Buddha? MyoHoRenGeKyo. What is Buddha karma? What is karma Buddha? It's the engine of life. It's all talking about the same thing. Karma isn't good or bad. It's not something you give out or make or create. You, me, we are active sentient minds. What is active? What is acting? It's shaping. Acting is shaping. What are you shaping? Karma. Karma's already there. You're simply influencing how it then manifests. And how does it manifest? In your experience. And it's your experience, not theirs. You can't give karma to somebody. Man, this was a tough lesson to the young people when I was in charge of, when I had a group of young people coming to me for advice about Buddhism, how to practice Buddhism. Man, this was one of the most difficult things for a young person to understand. I constantly heard, well, I'm going to show them what for. I'm going to teach them. I'm going to be Buddhist. I'm going to teach them. It doesn't sound right. What do you mean? Well, they made the cause. I'm going to be the effect. I hope you hear how ridiculous that is. But people operate on that delusion constantly. I'm going to show them their karma. What? No. We are actors. We act. Every single moment to moment to moment to moment, we're acting. Whether you think you're acting or not, you are acting. Thinking about acting is acting. Right? Remember the old saying that non-action is action? Yeah, because all we do as human beings, samsaric physical beings, is act. Therefore, every single moment that we are living, breathing entities, we are acting. And what does that mean in cause and effect? Right? Cause and effect are simultaneous. They're the same word. You could say cause and effect are act. Here we go with words again. Every breathing moment of our life, we are acting. And since cause and effect are immediate and cause and effect are acting, then there's constantly a result of that act. One of the results of all of the acts we are committing, 3,000 realms in a single thought moment, a lot of action, keeping your heart beating, right? Keeping your liver working, keeping your sentient mind present. Those are all acts. And the results of those acts, constantly, moment to moment to moment to moment. So if you're experiencing something, it means your sentient mind is witnessing, evaluating, inculcating, perceiving through its 3,000 filters in every thought moment. You're just witnessing your own being. Oh, isn't that acting? That act is the instantiation of being. You see how everything ties together? Becomes obvious. So if you know that, then how can something surprise you? Right? Because whatever it is that's surprising you, it didn't come from surprise acts you didn't know you were making. Well, you may not have been observing a lot of acts you were making, but that's, oh gosh, this is where well, that's your karma. Well, yeah, it is. And sometimes it comes around and slaps you with a wet towel in the face. But that's just because you weren't realizing the acts you were making. Isn't that how we change karma? When we realize? But we have to have a very attuned mind to see things coming before they surprise us. And when we chant and we open that mind that sees all of this as obvious, the surprises start to slow down. The surprises start to be mitigated. And eventually those surprises cease to occur because we understand the nature of karma, action, cause effect. The results of actions are very plain. Once we understand the nature of our actions, what to expect from those actions is no mystery. That's a kind of Buddha wisdom, the clarity of the engine of life. I like the engine of life because causality, karma, intention, attitude, it's all built into our idea of what an engine is. So Nichiren continues, This is what is described in the Sutra as, quote, the thus come one's secret and transcendental powers, end quote. Nichiren just gave us a modern translation for this rhetoric, right? Because when you first read secret power, transcendental power, ooh, it's so mysterious. No, it's not. It's just using your mind. It can seem pretty darn mystical sometimes, but it's not. Right? It's like watching butter melt on a toast. Maybe when you first see it, it's like, oh, look at that changing form and disappearing into the toast, a warm toast. But it doesn't take long before, oh yeah, of course it melts. There's warmth, there's heat, blah, 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 blah. You can know the science, the chemistry, the biology, all of that. Does it help you understand? Or does a clear mind that says, well, of course, the butter's going to melt with heat in the toast. And if the butter doesn't melt, well, the toast is not fresh, it's not hot, it's not warm enough to melt the butter. I mean, just silliness, right? To have this dissection of that activity. But it's really the same thing. Do you have a mind that understands the process of life? Or do you have a mind that's constantly shocked at how it works? Samsaric mind, constantly shocked, awed, can't figure it out. Buddha mind, oh, of course that happened. Of course this is like this. Same mind, one trained, one untrained. One surprised, shocked, taken aback, unsuspecting. How did that happen? One going, oh, I hadn't planned for that result, but it's so obvious. What a calmer life. Right? You know when you're thinking Buddhist-like, because we know the traces of it. We know the results of it. The, quote, thus come one's secret, end quote, refers to the entity of the Buddha's three bodies. And it refers to the true Buddha. What's the true Buddha? If you said Shakyamuni, sorry, try again. What's the true Buddha? MyoHoRenGeKyo. What's MyoHoRenGeKyo? The Gohonzon. What's the Gohonzon? Oh yeah, the experience, the observation, the knowing of the engine of life. That's the true Buddha. Why have so many words for the same thing? Humans. Quote, his transcendental powers, end quote, refers to the functions of the three bodies, and it refers to the provisional Buddhas. Oh boy, I had to throw another set of words. That provisional Buddha, what is that? Right? Boy, this gnat loves me today. Where did you come from? And it's a singular gnat. Must be teaching me something. The fact that I don't know it must mean I need to chant some more, yeah? The three bodies, we've talked about the three bodies so many times. They're just three aspects of our samsaric being. And in our practice, we experience all three at once. In other words, we transcend the reality of body and physical, as that's the way the world works, to a body and mind that perceives the world working, and by perceiving the world working, suddenly everything gets calm, bright, non-stressful, non-surprising. The reward, right? All three bodies in one single thought moment. when we activate, when we enliven, when we focus our minds on Buddha-ness. A Buddha is a function of the three bodies, and a provisional Buddha. The provisional Buddha is our apparatus for attaining Buddha. See, it's always there. But that doesn't mean you're always aware. Right? There's a hose in the backyard. You know it's there, but until you're using it, it's just provisional. Right? It's so simple. In that case, though it is thought that Shakyamuni Buddha possesses the three virtues of sovereign, teacher, and parent for the sake of all us living beings, that is not so. On the contrary, it is common mortals who endow him with the three virtues. We project the three virtues onto this man Shakyamuni. This is where the great error becomes manifest. That this is where religions begin. We want to be like Shakyamuni. Let's all do everything he says so one day we can be like Shakyamuni. Well, stop trying to be like Shakyamuni and just instantiate Buddha. Oh, well, that'll be like Shakyamuni. Yeah, but in a very different mentation. You're not trying to emulate someone. You're trying to be what that person has achieved. That's not the person. But words get mixed up here, and intentions, attitudes, the whole ball of wax right there. The Thus Come One is explained clearly in Tendai's commentary as follows. The Thus Come One is a general designation for the Buddhas of the 10 directions and the 3 existences, for the 2 Buddhas, the 3 Buddhas, the true Buddha, and provisional Buddhas, end quote. You and I, all sentient minds, all living beings. The true Buddha here means common mortals, whereas provisional Buddhas means Buddhas. The Buddhas we read about in stories, they're provisional because they're expedient means. They're ways of us understanding how the mind works and its eventual enlightenment. But that's your mind, my mind, not somebody else's. They're just ideas like the hose in the backyard that are ready for your use. When you use them, then aha, Buddha. However, because of the difference between ordinary people and Buddhas that stems from the disparity between delusion and enlightenment, ordinary people are unaware that they are endowed with both the entity and the functions of the 3 bodies. Kaboom! Sound like word salad? It is exactly what I've been saying since I began today. People who are unaware of the hose in the backyard will run like chickens in the house, out the front yard, back in the house, in the garage. Where's that damn hose? Or how do we keep the grass from dying? They don't even know about the hose. Until somebody leads them out to the back. Stop panicking. Stop running into walls. Stop wondering how. Come here. Come here. Come here. Let's go in the backyard. Oh, yeah, the backyard where all the dead grass is. Look over there. What's that? Well, it's called a hose. What does a hose do? Well, if you turn this spigot, water will flow through the hose. Yeah. Okay. And then you use the hose to distribute the water throughout your yard to feed the grass. And, well, when the grass is fed, it grows healthy and it turns green. Oh! And in that moment, 3 bodies. The ignorant body, the understanding of the act, the understanding being not only the perception of the act, but the knowledge of what the act does, the reward. So let's make a cause, water the grass, and see if the effect, which is already built in, doesn't manifest. Gosh, everything is Buddhism. What do you know? What did I just say? Everything is Buddhism. Everything is Buddhism. Have you ever heard statements like, everything in this samsaric world is enlightenment? Isn't that what I just explained with the hose? Yes. Everything with the mind of Buddha is enlightenment. But without the mind of Buddha, with ignorance, everything is magical, mystical, impossible to understand, surprising, shocking. Obviously, that's the delusion. All phenomena in the Sutra refers to the 10 worlds. By extension, the 3,000 realms in a single thought moment. So every time you read the 10 worlds, understand that's a shorthand for 3,000 realms in a single thought moment. Obviously, everything is that. All phenomena, not just the hose in the backyard, but the stars, the solar system, the earth, your friends. And since all phenomena are these realms, they're also the true aspect. Drop the mic. What's the true aspect? To what they actually are. Buddha-ness, the engine of life. The true aspect is another name for, say it with me, MyoHoRenGeKyo. Oh my gosh. Hence, all phenomena are MyoHoRenGeKyo, the law of life, the engine of life, the karma of life, the energies acting, or inactions, or actions applied to, whatever word gymnastics you want to put to it, it's the same thing. Hell's displaying the form of hell is its true aspect, right? When you're in the mire is being the mire, and you're being in it. Everything is a condition instantiating from energies acting. If you don't like the way they're acting, provide a different action. When hell changes into the realm of hungry spirits, that is no longer the true form of hell. You've left it. You've made other actions. You're now in the world of hunger, right? A Buddha displays the form of a Buddha, and a common mortal that of a common mortal. If that's the way you see and understand the world, then that is the effect. You experience that. Endeavor to act like a Buddha. Buddha wisdom, Buddha experience, clarity, no surprise. And the world changes because it's influenced by your actions and it mirrors them. It instantiates them. All potential, instantiation, you're the funnel. The entities of all phenomena are entities of MyoHoRenGeKyo. Just saying it again. Get this. That is the meaning of the true aspect of all phenomena. Tendai states that the profound principle of the true aspect is the originally inherent MyoHoRenGeKyo. Why is it originally inherent? Because everything in the universe is created the same way, including golf balls and you and I and me. Sorry, keep making that mistake. You and me created the exact same way as the earth, as nebulae, as the hose in the backyard. No, not somebody tinkering and putting us together. The energy forming. Formations. Formations are guided. How are formations guided? Through cause and effect, through karma, through formations with tendencies and conditions. And this is what our life is expressing, those tendencies and conditions. That's why we're all a little different. Not a whole lot different, but a little. And the sentient mind that emerges from this collection of karma, the freight train of karma, as I'm fond of calling it, because everything's momentum, is based on that freight train. Not every freight train is identical. So the minds that perceive in samsara vary. But when we focus our ninth consciousness, that variance goes away. It doesn't disappear. We don't suddenly turn, polka dot green in our flesh. But our mind's Itai Doshin, many in body, one Buddha-ness, engine of life. Consider the whole, the entirety of the universe, your experience in each moment. This interpretation identifies the phrase true aspect with theoretical teaching and the originally inherent MyoHoRenGeKyo with the essential teaching. You should ponder this interpretation deep in your heart. I couldn't finish today's video better. This is if that's all I ever shared with you, we could talk about just those few paragraphs of the true aspect of all phenomena. I don't know. With every additional person, we'd have to start over and talk about it slightly differently, but we'd all come to the same conclusion, would we not? This life, this moment, it's your opportunity to witness the entirety of life happening with equanimity. Everything happening in this moment, this moment, this moment, this moment. Are you floating along with it, or are you fighting it? Are you careening into the sides of the river and hitting rocks and paddling backwards? What are you doing that's making this journey so rough? Just follow the flow. Be in the flow. Enjoy the flow. Be immersed in the flow. Embrace the entirety of the flow. Oh, look, you don't have to, right? Your compassion comes out. No, join the flow. Why are you fighting it? Oh, look. Bodhisattva. Bodhisattva is your consciousness of that flow, wanting all of your environment to mirror that same flow. Please join me in experiencing this. Namo MyoHoRenGeKyo. Easier said than done. I understand. But at least know what and why you're doing what you're doing. Have confidence. Feel the assurance. And the only way ultimately you're going to have confidence is not by my wonderful blah, blah, blah. You have to experience it for yourself. For yourself. Enshrine a proper mandala. Sit with dignity. Focus with all of your attention. Invoke Buddha-ness until you feel it. Because that will be knowing it. And then go back into the world. See what happens. See how you see. That's the only thing that will convince you ultimately, right? Experience is an amazing teacher. Once you get burned by something hot, you know before you get there. That's not a good condition for me, for my flesh, yeah? Yeah, experience. A great teacher. All right, so in that vein, keep your practice strong. The gnat has sat on the lens of the camera like it's listening to me now. What a wonderful little creature you are. Namo MyoHoRenGeKyo, I say to the gnat. Am I crazy? I don't think so. Okay. Take care of your health. Enjoy your practice. Savor it. Namo MyoHoRenGeKyo. Right now, Buddha. Yeah. Don't race through it. Experience it. That's everything. I'll see you in the next one. I like this Go Show. Bye for now.